Hello, dear friends. This is The Medium's Harvest, a book that was written by Emmanuel through Xavier and brings to us new awareness on mediumship, on ourselves, and on the mediumistic practice. Today we're studying chapter 53. It's day 53, and we're talking about the title of the chapter is The School of the Heart. What is it? Well, we rely upon the Medium's book by Kardec because Emmanuel wrote this chapter based on a specific item, which we would say for mediums and for people who want to practice spiritism safely, it's a must. Of all the items, 350 items, 32 chapters, in this book, the Medium's book by Kardec, there's one that is key, 341. What is item 341? 341 belongs to a very unique chapter in which Kardec talks about meetings and societies. He discloses to us what he learned in the practice, in his research, and he shares with us the safest way to put together a spiritist center, the safest way to work as a medium or in a mediumistic practice. It's not simple, especially on the earth nowadays. We're living very, let's say, defining moment on the earth. One in which the forces of the good really are being called to its deepest strength, and evil is being eradicated. It looks otherwise, but it's not. Because evil has become so evident that the forces of goodness have no doubt that this is the time to eradicate it. And when we talk about mediumistic practice, there is also the idea of how much the surroundings influence the meetings and they derive from the nature of the spirits that are there. You know, when you have those good feelings, light or joyful, hopeful, good spirits are around. When we're feeling gloomy and down, bad spirits are around us. That's the law. But this item is unique. We would say all mediums and everybody who participates in a mediumistic meeting needs to meditate on this item 341 of the Medium's book. And that's the one that became a reference for Emmanuel to write the chapter we're going to read very soon. Right now, we're going to read this item, 341, from the Medium's book by Kardec. Kardec says, the influence of the surroundings derives from the nature of the spirits and the way in which they act upon human beings. From this influence, we can deduce for ourselves the most favorable conditions for a society that aspires to attracting the sympathy of good spirits for obtaining worthwhile communications and avoiding bad ones. The conditions depend entirely on the moral character of the participants and may be summed up as follows. Number 1, perfect commonality of ideas and sentiments. 2, mutual benevolence amongst the members. Rejection of every sentiment contrary to true Christian charity. A single desire to learn and improve through good spirits' teachings, and taking advantage of their counsels. Whoever is convinced that highly evolved spirits manifest for the purpose of enabling us to progress, and not simply to please us, will understand that they must avoid those who limit themselves to admiring their style without profiting from their words, and who are only attracted to sessions due to the greater or lesser interest they offer according to their individual tastes. Avoidance of anything in communicating with spirits that is intended solely for satisfying one's curiosity. Respectful concentration and silence during conversations with spirits. Association of all participants through thought when evoking spirits. Harmony amongst all mediums, rejecting any sentiment of pride, vanity, superiority, while supporting the sole desire to make themselves useful. Are these conditions so difficult to fulfill that no one will be able to meet them? We do not think so. Instead, we hope that truly serious groups like those that already exist in various places will multiply, and we do not hesitate to state that Spiritism owes its broadest growth to them. By uniting serious and conscientious men and women, they will impose silence on our critics, and the purer their intentions, the more they will be respected, even by their adversaries. When mockery attacks what is truly good, it fails to elicit laughter and instead becomes despicable. Among groups of this type, ties of true sympathy will be formed along with mutual solidarity through the very force of the circumstances, thereby contributing to overall progress. So friends, this is the item that becomes defining in any mediumistic meeting. Yes, so every medium, every person who would like to practice Spiritism safely in a group needs to read, and the whole group needs to conform to it. When we don't, it's a sign we're not ready for the task. This is as simple as that. But what does Emmanuel tell us? Is there anything else that Emmanuel needs to disclose to us that we haven't noticed in this item? Be surprised, because Emmanuel not only can, but he will. In the book, The Medium's Harvest, the educator and the author Emmanuel develops this concept to another level. What is it? Chapter 53, The School of the Heart. This was written in a public meeting on July 25th, 1960. Question and answer 341. He writes, in essence, the home is the gym of the soul. Inside it, all feelings work as educational credits. Responsibility rules, affection inspires, duty compels, work solves, necessity proposes. Cooperation resolves, challenge provokes, kindness helps, ingratitude beats, forgiveness alleviates, disease corrects, care preserves, selfishness imprisons, renunciation frees, illusion clouds, pain illuminates, demand destroys, struggle, humility reforms, struggle renews, experience edifies. All disciplines pertaining to brain enhancement are easily found at Earth's universities, but family is the school of the heart, raising loved ones to the condition of teachers of the Spirit. And it is only in it that we can understand that the various affective positions which we adopt in the conventional sphere are the only paths to the true brotherhood that binds us all in pure love and sacred unity before God. You may be surprised because Emmanuel develops Kardec's concept to another level. Kardec is talking about the importance of unity in a group, in a spiritist society, in a mediumistic meeting. He's talking about the need of harmony, the need of, working together, team working. And Emmanuel says, but if we don't begin it at home, we cannot make it happen in a mediumistic meeting. Now we will understand why it is not easy to open spiritist centers, to maintain spiritist centers, to organize activities in the centers, to coordinate meetings in the centers, especially mediumistic meetings. Because it requires an inner harmony that we bring in our daily lives. I cannot advance harmony elsewhere when I cannot bring it inside of me. You may be asking, but Vanessa, in that case, we won't be able to do any spiritist society or any spiritist meeting. And even spiritist mediumistic meetings. Well, we're not saying we have to be perfect to be there, but Emmanuel is saying to us, the harmony that we want to conquer in our spiritist family, we need to conquer first in our homes. Because, as Mentor Joseph said on Monday for us, it's like perfume. Our feelings, our thoughts, our words and actions during our daily lives become the perfume we're using. And then when we go to the Spiritist Center, it stays with us. There's no way like, I'm going to wash it off and... No. It stays with us. So we cannot deny it. We cannot hide it. It's what it is. Of course, it wasn't easy for Chico Xavier. No, he had lots of problems with his family. But the family members were causing problems for him. Yes, they were demanding. They were not understanding in the beginning of his mediumistic works. He had to take care of lots of family members. It was very, very sacrificial for Chico Xavier. But through those moments of tolerance, of charity inside of the house, in his family, he was bringing the merit to connect to the higher spirits. For us, it's not different. Of course, if two people are working in the same center and they belong to the same household and they are not in affinity, they better work it out before working together in a meeting. Otherwise, they are creating problems for the whole group. Right? So Tani Stewart is mentioning to us the mentor of the Bezerra de Menezes Spiritist Center in California has always called our attention for the harmony in our life and in our group. Exactly. So he says the home is the gym of the soul. Why is it so hard to be kind and joyful? Why? You know why? Our cold heart. It's when we don't want to forgive. It's when we don't want to be good-willed to everyone. We're resentful. We have petty attitudes. And then we're just attracting bad spirits all the way. And he says, Inside our home, all feelings work as educational credits. So, therapeutic question for us. What have our feelings been inside of our homes? If you live alone, still, it's a question. Because you don't live alone in reality. We needed to verify how often, statistically, we're cultivating beautiful thoughts. Thoughts of hope. Yes, that moment when sadness comes to you and you tell yourself, hold on, I can choose. I will rather tell myself, all is well, this shall also pass. This sadness is already passing. I can already feel the smile of the loving Christ sustaining me. Those moments in which you feel angry, what do? Of course, it's valid. Anger is a response of defense. It's physiological. You find it in the animal kingdom too. But in the animal kingdom, it's a valid response to be allowed full bloom because it's defense, preservation. In the human kingdom, we're invited to manage our anger. Not to say, so forget about saying, I'm not going to feel anger anymore. I hate when I feel anger. So you see how paradoxical it is. We hate when we feel angry. So it's even worse. The news is, you will, for a while, feel anger. The big deal is not to feel it, is what we do with it. Okay, so then I choose. I would like to recycle this anger. I would like to recycle it. How can I recycle it? I may look at the source of my anger and revisit the meaning of what is threatening me. How is that threatening me? Oh, because that person is not giving me attention. But that person, if that person was happy and well, they would. So it's not your problem. Don't be sad. It's their problem. And they are not alone. There are spirits who want to push your buttons. What do? We pray for them too. Because they, look at Jesus, don't know what they are doing. They don't know what they are doing. If they knew it, they wouldn't push those buttons in us. They are sad. They are unhappy. Any spirit that is suffering, that is avenging, that is violent and aggressive, needs our compassion because they don't know what they're doing. So we pray for them. We pray and we tell ourselves, I deserve love. They deserve love too. I deserve love and they deserve love too. So we need to constantly train our minds to feel the good, to seek the good, constantly. That's why it's the gym of the soul. It's when we change it all around. I'm not going to say it's perfect, because sometimes people need to go through, their decisions. Yeah, sometimes the couple will not be able to stay together. They have to go through separation and divorce. Separation and divorce is not the problem. The problem is what stays in people's hearts. If they go their ways, but they continue not respecting each other, they continue emitting the negativity, that's a problem. So, whether people are physically together or separated, if we continue emitting those thoughts and feelings, we're still together. So the best thing is to send the good and to keep the good too. And say, I make peace in my heart. I make peace in my heart. I am doing the best that I can. And I trust that they are doing the best that they can. And working on respecting people's rights. When Allan Kardec asked the spirits, what is the definition of justice according to the spirits? And they said, to be just is to respect people's rights. People have the right to be and to do what they want. That's why Jesus never ever knocked on Caesar's door to say, hey, what is it? What is this mess here? He never knocked on the Pharisees' doors, the temple's doors, demanding anything. Why? Because people have free will. If God, the superior and the supreme intelligence of the universe, allows people to make such decisions, why are we going to block them? And we are talking, of course, about things that are possible to be allowed. But even though the God and the good spirits in Jesus, they allow crimes to happen. Why? Because there is free will. This is a hard concept, but it's a needed concept. Otherwise, we'll never understand the need of forgiveness. And he says, forgiveness at home alleviates. Sometimes our homes are tense, destructive, and when forgiveness comes, it relaxes, it brings relief. Renunciation, it's needed. I respect people's rights, and I renounce my need to receive the loving care and the attention. Renunciation frees. Look at Livia. Livia, the spouse, the wife of the Roman senator Publius Lentulus. She renounced. He couldn't understand her. And she renounced her rights to be the wife. She allowed him to go through his mindset. And by doing so, she freed herself, so much so that she never reincarnated again on the earth. That's how much she freed herself. Because she didn't allow others to anchor her in anger, anchor her in frustration, anchor her, imprison her in the little petty things of life. It's okay. As my grandmother used to say, and she does still say it, you know, sometimes the little things that happen in a family, they're so little. They're like sticks, wood sticks. It's not worthwhile creating a big deal about it. But for that, we need to know ourselves. We need to know our limits. So we know how to protect ourselves from those temptations. In the Lord's Prayer, when Jesus says, you know, asking God to protect us from temptations, deep inside, it's about the temptation of being that lower self, that old person, the conditionings of the past. So the temptation of doing the same old, taking the same old habit of responding to people, People insult us and we take offense. Thank God in English, it's a precise definition. Take offense. It's up to us. Do I want to take offense? But people are saying this to you. That's what they think. I think they're projecting something on me. But it's not me. Should I take it? Why? Maybe not. Leave it alone. It's their way. They're entitled to their opinion. They don't know me. And sometimes in our homes, people don't know us. We don't know people who live under the same roof. Do a quiz. What are the colors that they like? What are their favorite colors, favorite food, favorite music, favorite drink? I'm not saying alcoholic beverage, huh? Favorite anything. We may not even know the answer. We don't know each other under the same roof. That's why he's saying care preserves. We need to care. We need to care for people in our home. What would you like that I bring to you? Be careful, you're cold. Let me bring your cold. You know that acts of kindness at home? People often talk about be kind in school, be kind at work. How about starting it at home? Acts of kindness. Acts of kindness in our home. What would you like? And if people cannot do it, we pray for them. Our care preserves. Kindness helps. Kindness helps. Duty compels. Affection inspires. Responsibility rules. Many families fall apart because people don't feel dutiful, don't feel responsible for the family. So Emmanuel is reminding us, this is the first thing he says, responsibility. This family is yours. This home is yours. It's for you. It's your responsibility. Only the adult inside of us can pick up on that sense of responsibility, on that sense of duty. Because the child inside of us is always, it's not me, I'm not the one responsible. The problems that are happening here, not mine. Or the parent inside of us, the critical one saying, he or she is the one responsible for the mess. But the adult takes responsibility. Takes responsibility, and responsibility creates order. And when problems come, like struggles, they are renewing us. We often don't like struggles. But think about the law of destruction. It's a law of life, law of transformation. Everything needs to be transformed at some point. And sometimes for the old conditioning to go away, we need the challenge of a struggle, or even, as he says, illness, disease corrects. How often we see diseases being a challenge for the family, when the family is more prayerful, when the family is more caring, the family is more loving. And we're like, oh my gosh, this disease, thank God the disease is here. You know, Umberto de Campos talks about a true case of a mother who was discarnated. And her son, who was still kind of young, an adult, was still incarnated. And as a good mother, she was watching over the son. And prayerfully, she would request the high mentors to help her son. But then she's visiting her son, who is in bed, and she says that he's sick. She sees the spirits and asks, what is going on? As if they are doing nothing. And they bring to her a chart with description. The description of the daily attitude he had for the last 20 some days. And they showed to her, you see, when he is better, his thoughts are still negative, he's judgmental, he is not kind to people. And then when the symptoms of the disease come back, he's prayerful, he's repentant. And the spirits who are harassing him, the obsessors, are shielded. They no longer can access him because the disease becomes protective. So she learns that the disease of her son is protecting him from undergoing a severe case of obsession. Why? Because when we're sick, we're prayerful, we're more watchful, we're more careful, we're more loving. But the question for us is, do we need to wait for that happening? So our friends Luis Camargo asked, what book? I forgot, but I tell you this, Luis Camargo. This was translated into English and was published in the Spiritist magazine and also in one of the programs we had at Cardiac Radio. It's the case of Mauricio Tessi. I will double check and reply later here with the link so people can have a reference, okay? Thank you for asking. So, as Alexandra is saying, taking charge of our lives, responsibility, yes. So, even diseases in the home, they have a role, correct. But illusions cloud the house. It's when people feel like everything is okay, we're living the high life, let's go for this trip and that trip, and let's go for this party, and we think life is so good, because we're in these illusions of life. Life is good when we feel what it is. What is life on the earth? A school. Why are we born? To learn, to progress. We're born to learn and to progress. And demand destroys. You know, when people are critical, why did you put the trash here? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Did you forget about this? Did you forget about that? And that demand destroys the relationships. You know, a good exercise we would say is, think that your loved ones are like Jesus in your home. Would you tell Jesus, hey Jesus, what is this? You forgot to put the trash out. Would you say that? No, right? Would you be grumpy and gloomy when Jesus is around? Many people would, but probably we wouldn't. Why? Because we already get it. So that's a good exercise. When we need to develop this kindness towards people, think, it's Jesus at home. Let me be kind, but knowing and respecting our limits. We don't need to be perfect. We just need to be willing to transform. Challenge provokes, cooperation resolves. Cooperation is one of the chapters, chapter 3 in the book Thought and Life. And let's not forget, the book Thought and Life is a summary of the courses that some spirits take in the spiritual realm before reincarnating, to keep their focus on the main pillars of a reincarnation. To succeed in reincarnation, we need to learn to cooperate with people. And Emmanuel says in chapter 3 about cooperation, spontaneous cooperation is the supreme ingredient of order. Spontaneous. Cooperation means constructive collaboration in order to be able to face challenges and wholehearted help so as to put deprivation behind us. He who helps others will help himself, and will silently find that this is the most secure formula for readjustment in the evolutionary process. So here we have it. Emmanuel here and there in the Medium's Harvest and Thought in Life, telling us that cooperation is key. He says, resolves many problems we have in our houses because we don't cooperate. And how can we cooperate? Sit down next to the person. Give them a hug. Give them a kiss. Listen to them. Be willing to step out of our selfish mode, right? And finally here, experience edifies. And he says, you can learn anything in universities in the world, but it is in the family, the school of the heart, raising loved ones to the condition of teachers of the Spirit, that we really raise ourselves. It is the only pathway to be understanding and to find harmony at home. In that way, we'll be able to transpose it to our centers, to our mediumistic meetings. I understand the challenges of having people around us who are not kind, who are not willing to help, who are rough or aggressive, and we pray for them. But you're not alone. You are not alone. We are not alone. We have good spirits who love us, and they are always keeping an eye. We just need to tell ourselves, this shall pass. This shall pass. This shall pass. That's what Mother Mary said to all the passers-by when they were coming after Jesus passed away. They came with their swords, and she used to say, trust in God, because this shall also pass. And then later she sent that message to Chico Xavier through Emmanuel, telling him, this shall pass. And he woke up every day looking at a plaque that he put in front of his bed saying, this shall pass. It shall pass. Everything passes. And it does. Today we're feeling extreme pain. Like I tell Virginia when she does a scratch. She's like, you know, little kids are adorable. They're like, it's like the end of the world. And for adults too, when we have to undergo a procedure. But then we recall, like, you know, there were times I was hurt before and passed. So let me focus on the moment when it's gonna pass. This is passing, this is passing, this is passing. Everything shall be fine. We need, it's vital for us to nourish our souls with positive elements, always, 24/7. Don't allow ideas of defeat. Don't allow ideas of self-criticism. Don't allow ideas of guilt to take you over. Recycle them in the good thoughts and feelings, saying, I am in the school of the heart, this shall pass. God knows what I'm going through. Jesus knows what I'm going through. The good spirits know. They are going to teach me a way to go through this. And it passes. It happened to Joana de Cusa, of Cusa, the one that followed Jesus. She was a disciple of Jesus. She was married, the man was rude. She came to Jesus and said, and it's described in the book Good News, and said, you know, what do I do, Master? It's hard to be with that man. She had a son. Jesus looked at him and said, stay put. You can serve the Lord by staying there. She trusted in him. It didn't take much longer. he discarnated. And she continued her path following the good news. And one day she became a martyr of Christianity, together with her son. And we know Joana de Cusa, or Joana of Cusa, reincarnated many times. One of them in Brazil is Joana Angélica de Jesus, our dear Joana de Angelis, the mentor of Divaldo Franco. The spirits will know what it is to endure the hardships, but to renounce, to forgive, to put our hearts, our focus in this school of the heart. It is only then that we'll be able to create greater harmony in our spiritist family, which is also our school of the heart, isn't it? It is. Right? Right, Felipe. Celebrate the miracle of life. You're right. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. Thank you. And Rudy. Hi, Rudy. Luis Camargo. Alexandra. How are you? You are so kind, Silvio Otero. Thank you so much. Big hug to you and your wife, Jacob. How are you? And Teresa Catapano, it's good to have you here. Patrícia Guiri Cardoso, big hug to you and Tiago. Teresa Catapano, thank you so much. Daisy, big hug to you and Mario. Paula Antoni, thank you, Paula, for being with us. Nora Brasil, how are you? John Da Rosa, eternal friend, how are you? Paula Andrade, how are you, Paula? Nina Dewey, how are you? Narciso, our light man, how are you? Adilson, how are you? We're grateful to you, Leia Severo, thank you. Angelita, how are you? Karina, beautiful Karina, and funny Karina, I'll say, huh? Sunshine, how are you? Teresa Castro, how are you? Andrea Torres, Karen Mark Smith, big hug to you. Julija, how are you, Julija? Sunshine, Rihanna, Nico, Katia, how are you? So friends, yes, John Da Rosa, you always comes back to the family, inevitably, huh? Marcelo Martins, welcome. So friends, even if you're listening to this or watching on demand, the focus for us today is seeking the good. Feel the good. You're not alone. And trust that you have the divine seed inside of you. If you don't believe in your divine seed, nobody will but God. But it's on us to believe in that divine. Don't allow the thoughts of negativity and the words of negativity to take you over. Tell yourself, I am light, I am light, I am light, I am light. Tell yourself, you are divine light. I am divine light. I am divine light, full of potential. I can learn to forgive, to forget, to renounce, to be loving, to be kind. I can because it's God in me. Don't doubt. Don't ever doubt your potential because you're divine. And people in your life, they are divine too. And if they have not found out, you already know it. So you can be the catalyst of the family. Joy. Always joy. Like this little boy, the video I watched today. What are we practicing? Let us practice joy. So our beautiful Leia Severo found out already. Thank you, Leia, for your help. The Spiritist Magazine number 23. If you go to thespiritistmagazine.com, you're going to find out. Number 23 is going to reveal to us that message that I mentioned to you. Mauricio Tessi, Right, Leah? Thank you so much. Thank you. So that's where you can read the whole passage that Humberto de Campos tells us. Shall we, friends? The school of the heart. You know, the wheels of the heart go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels of the heart go round and round, all the way to God. And if I'm a little sad, that's okay, that's okay. Let us pray. And if I'm a little angry, that's okay, that's okay. Let us pray. And if I'm a little cranky, that's okay, that's okay. Let us pray. This is a muse that was given by the spirits to us when we put together. The Spiritist efforts for babies and toddlers, and now our children in the Spiritist Center also sing this song to learn about managing their emotions and thus our vibrations. What's gonna happen tomorrow? Right, Daisy? Yes, God in me. Love it, Marcelo Martins. That's what it is. It's God in me. Tomorrow when we come back, since we are marching towards greater understanding of mediumship, it's about talents and experience. And as a teaser, he's going to say, you want to listen to the discarnates in the right way. You aspire to see the kingdom of the spirits without illusions. You intend to cultivate the mediumistic interchange without being deceived. What should we do? A teaser. Mediumistic quality is a common talent to all of us. What, Vanessa? No spoiler anymore. Come back tomorrow, because tomorrow we're gonna talk about quality control in the mediumistic meeting. Can you believe it? Emmanuel is always ahead of humanity. Way before people started talking about quality control in companies, the spirits already told us that in mediumistic meetings, quality control. Shall we? And Leah Severo is reminding us, it's number 22 of the Spiritist magazine, where you're going to find the very chapter on Mauricio Tassi and his mother, and how the story of the obsessors, etc. Thank you so much, friends. And the reminder for us all is, let us see the good inside of us. That's how we're going to be able to love our loved ones. Love yourself, and easily we're going to love others as well. Big hug to you, friends, and a wonderful, wonderful day.